Wow. Color me speechless right now. Color me speechless when it pertains to Dead Rock Chapter 5. Also, hey guys, what's going on? Lucky Cheese 7 is back again to give you guys another uh live stream discussion slash review on Dead Rock, Hero's new monthly serialization, which I'm not gonna lie, has actually been kind of a grace period for me because, and I say that with good intention, and that like so much goes on within a month, and you have so many things that you deal with IRL that for me especially, that's a lot helpful. But at the same time, it is kind of taken away from things that I would love to talk about, and believe me, thankfully with me being on break, I'm able to kind of spend a little bit of time on that starting today. So today you're gonna get something. Tomorrow you're gonna get something too. And I'm not even just talking live streams. I mean like in general, like pre-recorded videos, like all that stuff. Like this week is coming back. So today's gonna be Dead Rock. Tomorrow I'm gonna try to do Eden Zero. I'm gonna try. If not Eden Zero, definitely a pre-recorded video. I paused on that for a second because I have to think about it, but definitely without a doubt, it's gonna be crazy for sure. But Dead Rock, like that's what y'all are mainly here for. Y'all are mainly here for Dead Rock Chapter 5. And here's the thing: we all knew. I think a lot of us knew Hiro had it in him as a writer. I'm talking old school people like me who was there when Hiro wrote Rave Master. You saw the writing style he did there. And then since Rave Master, he's been kind of approaching like each series different. Like Fairy Tail was handled with a completely different mindset. His approach with Eden Zero's kind of been like an amalgamation of how he handled the story of Rave, but the execution of how we get to certain places and plot points is where the Fairy Tail approach kicks in. Now, Dead Rock is fascinating thus far. It's been really, really fascinating in that it feels like Prime Hero, like Hero back in the Rave days. And I've been kind of debating with myself, is this going above that? And so far, I will say 5 chapters in, it's been on point. It's been like super, super on point with seeing with what Hero was able to do. But let's just get to the chapter. So chapter 5 is titled Firecry, which, based on the chapter title, you can kind of get an idea that the chapter itself is centered around, or going to be focused on Frey. But you've got this nice like character profile of Yakuto. You got the name, you got the Black Dragon root. Class F, likes pasta, dislikes black coffee. I'll be perfectly honest here. I'm not a big fan of black coffee either, so that's for me. Note: he came to Dead Rock to kill Gold, this principal. He has a lot of plans, but his true motivation for killing God is unknown. Which I think a lot of us can probably assume that it might have been because God killed, you know, like his people, like his hometown. That's the assumption everyone's having here. But there's some kind of hidden objective that Yakuto has. But I'm pretty sure it has something like to do with like God messing with his life and now he wants to do this. And that's what it seems like, but we'll see. Anyway, moving forward, you got Yakuto in his dragon form looking super badass. And then you got Raizen. I don't really know what's going on, but woo, that's got a punch. Get him, Yakuto. And then, similar to how we ended off the last chapter, we see Frey's sister, and she's like big, so as you see like this like sweat coming down her face, and she's like feeling like Like, how am I supposed to feel right now? This is too much. And she's asking like why, as her sister goes in for the attack, and Mikoto steps in. Mikoto said that she wasn't going to take part in this. Like, given was where Frey's mindset is, she's like, no, I'm going to help you out. Like, what are you spacing out for? And she's like, because it's my big sis. And what happens after this is Yakuto loses control. Like, Yakuto goes in for Raizen, and Raizen's like, wait, what the heck what are you aiming at? And obviously, you can kind of get the impression based on this chapter that Yakuto, while in his dragon form, doesn't have a state of mind. Like, he's not understanding what he's doing, and that's something Mikoto points out. He's like, something's corroding him. He's not in his right mind. Bird, don't get crushed. Is what Honey says. And Honey's like, wait, whoa, that bird flees quick. And as it's going on, Yakuto going in for the attack, and Honey's like, damn it. Are you all stupid? Like, this isn't exactly him saying it like as a joke. He's more so saying it now with a very serious approach. So context behind that is great. But yeah, it looks like Yakuto has no control whenever he enters into you know, his black dragon form. And then you got Louzen over here. He's like, hey now, don't bust up my death arena. Ha 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 ha. And then Hein, we'll have to stop him ourselves. And Raisin says, if it kills him, right? He's like, that's my intention. So they're all going in for Yakuto and his dragon state. And I'm not gonna lie, for a minute, I almost debated on having this panel right over here as the thumbnail for the video. But then once I started thinking more and more about the chapter, I was like, no, it has to be on Frey because the chapter title's named after her too. But you've got this going on. Raisin's already like chopped to bits, and he's like just on the string of life because of Mikoto. Give me just 1 second, guys. One quick second. Gotta love the phone calls. But anyway, continuing with where I left off. They're going in for the attack. Raisin's like, seriously? And Hein's not really doing much damage. He's like, what is going on? And Louzen's like, yes! Good! There's the duel I wanted. And like even Honey's like, man, this is too tough. And Mikoto like sets it straight, like, hey, Frey, like, get your shit together. Okay, she doesn't exactly say like that, but she does say Frey. But Frey says, I gotta save my sis. Your sister? Don't tell me she's one of the battle pets. Yeah, my dear sis is. And she's like, it's hopeless that they can't be saved. And Frey says, no, I'm gonna save her. As Yakuto's still going on his rampage, taking on a lot of the students, a lot of like test subjects, if you will. And Louzen's like, you killed a bunch of my battle pets, but it's cool as long as I get you. I guess I'll use my trump card. Demonic Super Mako Fist! You're marvelous students! And it's like putting Yakuto back as Honey goes in for the hammer with Mjolnir. And as it's going on, Frey says, big sis, where are you? And then she appears like right before Frey. Big sis! Going in for the attack. She's like, don't you remember me? Big sis? And similar to the last chapter, we get a flashback of Frey's like early days. She's like, ew, gross, her clothes are falling apart. Her family's dirty poor. What you smiling for? So gross. This is the hand-me-down for my big sis. It smells like her. I like it better than something brand new. I'm not gonna lie here. Little Frey here is like adorable. She is like in the adorable phase, that's for sure. That's going through. You see her big sister like in the corner, like waving her hand. She's like, "Big sis, Frey." Hold hands. If I graduate from Dead Rock, I can be a ruler of the human world, and I can get as much money as I want. So I'm gonna aim to get in there. To which Frey said, "I'm gonna beat you someday." No way. Why? When you get strong, I'll have to get even stronger. Then I'll have to get even stronger than that. No, you'll never catch up to me, because I'm your big sis. I gotta be stronger than you, so I can protect you. And you see like how she gets a little pouty about that. Someday, I swear, I'm gonna get stronger than you. And they both like punch each other in the face. I'm kind of interested to know what her name is, because so far again, like 2 chapters and we don't even know get an idea of like what Frey's sister's name is. You just only refer to as Big Sis. So Mikoto says Frey. Big Sis going in for the attack, punches Frey in the face. I knew you'd be strong, Big Sis. I always looked up to you. And Mikoto's like, Frey? Maybe painful, but look at reality. Her body systems are all decaying. She's beyond help. And she's like, I'm gonna surpass my big sis. And like this shot over here was beautiful. Like I love this shot of like Frey like punching, her older sister like in the face to where there's nothing there. And like you see like the grit and you see like the like just how far she was willing to go to surpass her. And like even though like she's not in the state that she's in, she's like, if it has to come down to this, I will do it. And that like shocks Mikoto. And she's catching her breath. How about that? I beat her. To which you see Mikoto looking kind of sad because she knows how Frey's feeling, and we can see like that next panel, like that's exactly what we get. I got stronger than her, like letting out her tears and everything. And then she looks directly at Louzen, and Louzen's like, "Excellent, excellent. I'll kill you." That's what Frey says. You hear the rumbling in the corner, and Mikoto says, "Not now." Why not? He did that to my big sis. And Mikoto, she lays it straight to Frey. She's like, Yakuto's out of control and you're badly injured. The time will come. And when it does, I'll assist you. Got like this dark, sadistic look on Mikoto's face. Like she's ready. Mikoto is ready to, essentially do the assault. Like be like, yo, we got this shit. Don't worry. But right now is not the right time. And when that time comes, I will hope. But come back to Raisin. Let's cut off a leg. No, go for the head. That's what Hein says. And then Honey says, calm down, Yakuto. Are you stupid? As he's like, letting out a roar. And Louzen says, knockout, demonic super Mako fist. And as that's going down, you hear like this one outcry in the far distance. Says, that's enough. Catches Raisin, catches Hein, Honey. Like even Louzen's like, wait, what the hell? And you get Mikoto like comforting Frey as she's looking up over at the sky. And you see like this silhouette of gold. Like gold is here. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it like that. Freaking Castlevania. I'm going through a rewatch of that right now, and anytime I hear God, like I just hear like that character say gold, like totally not in conjunction with the show, but you know. And God says the sixth rule of Dead Rock: damage to school facility is an active. See, this is interesting. He says damage to school facilities is an active rebellion against God. Kind of fascinating, actually. That it's the school building. It's like, oh yeah, no, you can kill each other, but the buildings, no, 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 no. If it comes to buildings, we're gonna have a huge fit about this. Like that. That is essentially what he says right here. And Louzen's like principal, and like Mikoto's sweating like God. And again, Dragon Yakuto's here, and he's ready. He's like, oh, you want to challenge me? And like even God, like he's doing this unfazed, like he's going straight for the assault. As Yakuto lets out a roar, and again, not doing much. Okay, the roar does happen, yeah, but God blows it away. Like it's nothing. And as that's happening, he places his hand like on his head, and he says, "You're going to the blood dungeon." As Yakuto lets out a loud roar, and that essentially reverts him back to who he was, which shocks Raizen, shocks Hein, Honey, Louzen. Oh, how sublime! Yeah, so he like Yakuto's like now back to being how he looks like, and that kind of gets God Circle like, a black dragon, huh? To which we cut over to Dead Rock Chapel, Love and Death, third floor underground, disciplinary cell nicknamed the Blood Dungeon. And you see Yakuto chained up. And I'm not gonna lie, when I saw this, the first thing going through my mind was, yo, Hero, what is going on? Like, you made Shiki take a huge, massive L, which is good actually for his character. Um, Natsu was like, Natsu took an L off screen in 100-Year Quest. I'm like, what the hell? And now freaking Yakuta, same thing. So you got 3 MCs from Hero taking massive L's. Now, the one upside for Eden Zero was that we already got the latest chapter, so we already kind of know the outcome of where things are going, but it had me going like, bro, 3 MCs back to back to back. Like L's. It's crazy. But no, you see Yakuto chained up, and then you see Lilith over here, the succubus principal. I said principal. You know, teacher, if you will. She's like, oh my, what a cute little boy. And she's like, remember this. Killing is allowed at this school, but you can't destroy the building. Because, and as soon as this part popped up, it does make sense. Because Dead Rock is a part of God. So, in a way, that does explain something. Because not like necessarily like it's connected to God per se, but it is like his institute. If you will. So if you just destroy something that he built, then yeah, obviously he's gonna throw a fit about it. Now, at the same time, I gotta wonder too. What if it is the other meaning? Like the building itself is actually a part of God. I mean, look, this is Hero. I would not be surprised if that's the direction we went down, but at the same time, I might just be reading it too deep. Anyway, Root Succubus, one of the 4 demon teachers, Lilith. And I mean, look, I don't know if I said this last chapter, but Lilith is 10 out of 10. Definitely. Now, is she someone I would want to mess with? Hell no. look, she got a pretty face, okay? But is that gonna be someone I'm like, yo, let's talk? No. We know how the succubus work. Yo, no way. Hell no. We ain't messing with the succubus. Especially with what she does right now, because Yakuto says this. He's like, "What did I? Like, what did I?" He doesn't finish the sentence, but you can kind of tell he's like trying to say, like, "Well, what did I do?" And Lilith says, "You don't remember? Poor thing." And oh my god, this next panel, this next panel, okay, like, make no mistake, Hero is not shy when it comes to, like, you know, implications of, certain things. Innuendos, if you will. Like, he is not shy of that whatsoever. But this, though, this threw me off a bit because Lilith says, "But God assigned you this punishment." Squish! And you see how Yakuto's reacting. And when I saw this reaction face, and then when I heard the squish sound effect, I was like, no way. Basically, she gave Yakuto the handsies. And damn. And the only reason why I'm saying that is because of what happens here. Because Lilith walks away and she says, "Stay here in the blood dungeon for 1 week." So she's walking away. Yakuto's there, chained up, and he's looking over, he's like, "Huh?" And it's the Neko girl. You know, basically Dead Rock's Blake Belladonna from Ruby. That's essentially was who we have here. We got, the Neko girl here. Like, shh. And Yakuto's like, "You're being too loud after you shush me." And she's like, "Quiet, pervert." Which, given with what Lilith did to Yakuto, you can kind of already get an idea as to what happened. And also, you see the blush on Yakuto's face. So basically, with what Lilith did to Yakuto, you know, with the squish sound effect, I mean, what can I say? The dude loaded out. He let out a load. That is essentially what Yakuto did. He let out a load. And she says, "You want to kill God, don't you? Want to join forces?" I know his weak spot, which catches his attention. And I'm not gonna lie, as soon as I read that bit, I was like, "Yo, what is it? What's the weak spot?" And that's where the chapter ends. And I was like, "Hero, for real? Like, this was a good ass chapter. It was a good ass chapter of Dead Rock." And getting to this part in the end, I was like, the man knows how to draw a crowd. Okay? And I've said that for years. From Rave Master to Fairy Tale to Eden Zero. The man knows how to leave, the readers in suspense for what's to come next. And this one is no different. So the fact that he has a weak spot, I mean, we all had the big question was going to be, how was Yakuto going to overcome God? Okay? Because we saw what God just tapped him on the head, and the dude just reverted back to his self, unconscious. Now, the Neko girl, she knows something. She knows that there's a weak spot. And I do wonder, is Hero going to do one of those things where, kind of like in chapter 3, you get her at the very end, and then in chapter 4, we cut away to something else? Like, is that what we're going to do? Or are we actually going to, like, cover, like, some, like, heavy meat and potatoes? Like, some heavy shit when it comes to the series. And if I had to take a guess, given Chapter 5, because Volume 1 actually came out recently. Volume 1 of Dead Rock just came out, I want to say, what, like 4 days ago? No, not 4 days ago. 6 days. Yeah, because it came out on November 16th. And the cover, dude, the cover for Dead Rock Volume 1 looks amazing. It is a beautiful cover for its very first volume. It actually reminds me a little bit of Rave Master Volume 1. And I say that solely because with Rave Master, Haru was the only person you had on the cover for the first volume of Rave Master. Eden Zero and Fairy Tail, you both have the main lead in the female. So for Dead Rock, you only just get Yakuto in, and I was like, okay. It's a nice little change of pace from what Hero's been known to do with his volume covers, if you will. At least for Fairy Tail and for Eden Zero alike. But still, like, nice change of pace for the volume covers. And I'm assuming Chapter 4 is the end of. Yeah, no, Chapter 4 has to be the end of Volume 1. And this has to be the beginning of Volume 2. Now, the question I do have is exactly how long is Dead Rock going to run for? That is something I think we all have to ask ourselves: is how long is Dead Rock going to run for? And I'm going to make an assumption guess here. Because it's supposed to be a limited series, I want to say 4 at the max. 4 volumes at the max. No, 4 minimum. Minimum 4, maybe 6. And actually, if Hero still like has that craze for number 7, maybe 7 volumes. I don't see this going like in the double digits. I don't, because I think this is definitely going to be a short run, if you will. And plus, you've still got Eden Zero that's ongoing too, which currently at this point, Eden Zero like is in the final arc. How long the final arc is going to be, I mean, given recent events, and I'll talk about that. I will do a video on that later. But needless to say, this chapter of Dead Rock, amazing plus, arguably pure perfection, and I will leave it at that. So let me know what you guys' thoughts are when it comes to this chapter of Dead Rock. What was your favorite part about it? Did you have any gripes of the chapter? What do you guys think the weak spot is for God? And how do you think, or not how do you think, what do you think Yakuto is going to do next? And with that being said, you guys, that's pretty much it. I'm Lucky G7. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more Dead Rock, Eden Zero, Fairy Tail content, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace.